Welcome back to Speducation. I am your host, Brandon Reed, and as always, if this is your first time to the channel, a special welcome to you. Well, it's a new week and we have a new lesson. What are we going to be learning about this week? Well, let's find out. Today's lesson, types of case conferences, annual case conference. Now, we've talked a lot about different types of case conferences. Now, the one that we haven't talked about is probably the most common, and that's an annual case conference. So, what is an annual case conference? An annual case conference is a conference in which the student's IEP is updated to ensure that all of the information in the IEP is still relevant. During this conference, the case conference committee will review evidence of student progress, complete a transition assessment if the student is of transition age, complete a summary of performance if the student requires one, update accommodations, review IEP goals, present proposed IEP goals, review and update special ed services if necessary, and develop and complete a compliant IEP. Now, annual case conferences need to be scheduled out 1 year in advance. So that means that if you hold a case conference on October 10th, 2024, then the next annual case conference needs to be held on October 10th, 2025, or before then. Now, if you don't hold it within a calendar year, the IEP becomes non-compliant, which raises some legal issues that the schools really don't want to deal with. So typically teachers will schedule them 2 to 3 weeks before the annual review date, because then that way, if there are problems or rescheduling issues that come up, they have time to cover it before the IEP becomes non-compliant. And a parent can request a revision to the IEP anytime within that calendar year. Those are called revision conferences, which is what we talked about last time. Now, what happens if a student with an IEP does something that causes them to get expelled? You're probably thinking, well, a special ed student can't get expelled because they're protected, right? I mean, that's idea. Yeah, the schools have to provide them with some sort of education, right? Well, that's true. And that type of conference is called a manifestation determination conference. Now, what is entailed with that? Well, that's actually what we're going to be talking about in the next video. However, it's not going to be next week. The reason why is because it's fall break. That's right. It's that wonderful time of year when students get to stay home and drive their parents nuts. So if you're hoping to see a new video next week, I'm sorry, you'll be disappointed, but that's okay. Come back in 2 weeks and we will have a new video for you. So if you liked what you saw, you learned something new, or you're new to the channel, please click that like button. And if you want updates on future videos, feel free to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for updates on future videos. And as always, if you have questions or comments, or there's a particular subject in special education that you're kind of confused about and you want more information on, drop a line in the comments section and I'd be happy to answer. And until next time, class dismissed.